5 most anti-aging stretches, scientifically proven. Getting older is something none of us can escape. One day, you wake up, and your body doesn't feel the same. The stiffness creeps in. The aches last longer. The energy you once had seems to slip through your fingers like sand. You look in the mirror and see the lines, the sagging, the signs that time is moving forward whether you like it or not. It can feel frustrating. But let me tell you something from years of experience. Aging is not just about getting older. It is about how you move, how you take care of yourself, and how you fight back against the slow grip of time. And believe me, there are ways to do that. Not with expensive creams or magical pills, but with something simple. Something your body was built to do. Stretching. When I was younger, I ignored stretching. I thought it was something people did after a workout. A waste of time. I was strong. I was active. I didn't need it. But as the years passed, I started feeling the consequences. My back ached when I stood too long. My shoulders tightened like rusted hinges. My legs felt like they didn't belong to me anymore. And worst of all, I started moving like an old man before my time. That is when I realized I had made a mistake. The kind of mistake that sneaks up on you. The kind that doesn't show its true cost until it is almost too late. But I was lucky. I found out that it was not too late. Science backs it up. Stretching can slow aging. It can keep your muscles flexible, your joints strong, and your body feeling alive instead of trapped in stiffness. I have spent years learning, testing, and practicing the best stretches that actually work. And today, I am going to share them with you. Not just because they work, but because they might just change your life like they changed mine. The first stretch is something I wish I had done when I was younger. It is simple, yet it wakes up your entire body. Stand tall, reach your arms above your head, and slowly bend forward as if you are trying to touch your toes. Do not force it. Let gravity do the work. Feel your spine lengthening. Feel the tightness in your lower back and hamstrings loosen. Hold it. Breathe. Let your body adjust. This stretch is like oil for a stiff engine. It improves blood flow. It keeps your back from locking up. It prevents that old age hunch that creeps in without warning. I remember the first time I did this stretch seriously. My body resisted. It felt tight, almost painful. But after a few weeks, something incredible happened. I could reach farther. My back stopped aching in the morning. I felt lighter. Science confirms it. This stretch improves circulation, reduces muscle tension, and keeps your spine young. The second stretch saved my shoulders from years of neglect. I call it the doorway stretch. Stand in a doorway. Place your hands on the frame at shoulder height. Step forward gently until you feel the stretch in your chest and shoulders. Do not rush it. Breathe into it. Feel the tension melt away. I used to ignore my shoulders. I never realized how much tension I carried there until one day, I reached for something on a high shelf and felt a sharp pain shoot through me. That was my wake-up call. Shoulders get tight from years of bad posture, from stress, from sitting too much. And when they tighten, they pull your whole body out of alignment. This stretch opens up the chest, improves posture, and even helps you breathe better. It makes you stand taller. And let me tell you, nothing makes you look and feel younger than standing tall instead of slouching over like life has beaten you down. The third stretch is one I learned the hard way. My hips started feeling like they were rusted shut. Sitting too much had taken its toll. I tried to ignore it, but then my lower back started hurting too. It wasn't just an ache. It was a deep, nagging pain that refused to go away. That is when I discovered the hip flexor stretch. Kneel on one knee with the other foot in front, making a 90-degree angle. Push your hips forward gently until you feel the stretch deep in the front of your hip. Hold it. Breathe. Let it sink in. This stretch is a lifesaver. It fixes lower back pain. It improves balance. It even makes walking feel smoother and easier. And science backs this up. Tight hips are one of the biggest culprits behind back pain and mobility loss as you age. Loosen them, and you move like someone years younger. The fourth stretch is something I do every single day. If I skip it, I feel it immediately. It is the seated spinal twist. Sit down with one leg straight and the other leg crossed over. Place your opposite elbow against your bent knee and gently twist your torso. Look over your shoulder. Hold it. Feel the tension release from your lower back, your mid-back, even your neck. This stretch is a secret weapon against aging. It keeps your spine mobile. It prevents stiffness that makes simple things like turning around feel like a chore. I used to wake up with stiffness so bad that I felt like I had aged 10 years overnight. But after adding this stretch to my routine, that stiffness disappeared. It was like rewinding the clock on my spine. And let me tell you, when your back feels good, your whole body feels good. The fifth and final stretch is one I ignored for too long. It is the stretch that keeps everything together. The calf stretch. Stand facing a wall. Place your hands against it. Step one foot back and press your heel into the ground. Hold it. Feel the stretch run up the back of your leg. Then switch sides. It seems simple. Almost too simple. But tight calves can cause knee pain, ankle stiffness, even back problems. I never realized how much they mattered until I started stretching them. Suddenly, my knees felt better. My walking felt smoother. Even my balance improved. And there is science behind it. Keeping your calves flexible improves circulation, reduces joint strain, and even prevents falls as you age. It is one of those little things that makes a huge difference over time. I am telling you this because I have been there. I have felt the stiffness, the aches, the frustration of watching my body slow down. I have looked for answers. And after years of trial and error, I found them. These 5 stretches are not magic. They are not a quick fix. But they work. And if you do them consistently, they will change how you feel. They will change how you move. And maybe, just maybe, they will make you feel a little younger. Not in the way that erases wrinkles or turns back time, but in the way that matters. In the way that lets you wake up without pain. In the way that lets you move freely without stiffness holding you back. In the way that reminds you that aging is not about getting old. It is about how you take care of yourself. And let me tell you, it is never too late to start. Now, let's clear some common questions. What is the connection between chronic pain, aging, and mobility? And how can these stretches help break the cycle? The connection between chronic pain, aging, and mobility is one that most people only understand when it is too late. When we are young, we move freely without thinking. We bend, twist, run, and jump as if our bodies are made of unbreakable steel. But the years change that. Muscles tighten. Joints lose their flexibility. The body starts resisting movement instead of embracing it. And if you do not fight against that resistance, it takes over. That is how chronic pain begins. Not as a sudden injury, but as a slow creeping stiffness that turns into discomfort, then into aches, and finally into a kind of pain that lingers even when you are resting. And the worst part? The less you move because of the pain, the worse it gets. It is a cycle. A cruel one. The body tightens, movement becomes difficult, pain increases, and because of the pain, movement decreases even more. That is how aging steals mobility. Not all at once, but bit by bit, until one day, you find yourself struggling to do things that once felt effortless. I remember when I first started noticing this in my own body. My lower back would ache every morning. My shoulders felt like they were wrapped in invisible ropes, refusing to move fully. My legs felt heavy. At first, I thought I was just getting older, and that this was normal. But then I saw people my age, even older, who moved like they were still in their 30s. That is when I started asking questions. Why do some people stay mobile and pain-free while others feel trapped in their own bodies? The answer, I learned, was movement. But not just any movement. The right kind. The kind that keeps the body loose, the joints lubricated, and the muscles strong yet flexible. And that is when I discovered the power of stretching. Stretching does not just lengthen muscles. It breaks the cycle of pain and immobility. It tells the body, you are still capable of moving freely. It keeps the joints from locking up. It prevents stiffness from turning into permanent tightness. And most importantly, it restores what aging tries to take away. Freedom of movement. I started slowly. At first, my body resisted. My back did not want to bend. My hips felt like they were made of stone. But I kept going. Each day, I stretched a little more. Each day, my body fought against me a little less. And then something incredible happened. The pain that had become part of my daily life started to fade. My lower back stopped aching in the mornings. My shoulders loosened. My legs felt lighter. And most importantly, I started moving with ease again. I realized that chronic pain and mobility loss are not inevitable parts of aging. They are consequences of neglect. The body is meant to move. When we stop moving, we start aging faster than we should. But when we stretch, when we take the time to keep our bodies flexible and mobile, we slow that process down. We tell our muscles and joints, you are still needed. You are still alive. Science backs this up. Studies show that stretching improves circulation, reduces muscle stiffness, and even helps the nervous system relax, which in turn lowers pain levels. It is not just about flexibility. It is about giving the body permission to stay young. One of the most powerful stretches I ever learned was the forward bend. It sounds simple. Just standing, bending forward, and letting gravity pull you down. But the effects are profound. This stretch lengthens the spine, releases tension in the lower back, and even helps with circulation. At first, I could barely reach past my knees. My body was that stiff. But over time, as I practiced, my hands got closer and closer to my toes. And with every inch of progress, I felt the stiffness in my back loosen. The pain that had once felt like a permanent part of my life started to disappear. Another stretch that changed everything for me was the hip flexor stretch. If you spend years sitting too much, your hips tighten, your lower back suffers, and walking starts to feel awkward. That was my reality. But the moment I started stretching my hips, everything changed. My lower back pain eased. My balance improved. I could walk longer without feeling exhausted. It was like I had given my body back a piece of its youth. The doorway stretch saved my shoulders. I used to feel a dull ache every time I reached for something on a high shelf. I thought it was just part of aging. It was not. My chest and shoulders had tightened from years of bad posture and lack of stretching. Standing in a doorway, placing my hands on the frame, and gently pushing forward became my daily ritual. Within weeks, my shoulders felt open again. The pain disappeared. And for the first time in years, I could move my arms without feeling like they were trapped. The seated spinal twist was another revelation. It showed me how much tension I had stored in my back without even realizing it. Twisting gently, holding the position, and breathing deeply released a kind of stiffness I didn't even know was there. It was like unlocking a door that had been stuck for years. The more I did it, the more I realized how much I had been holding myself back. Literally. And finally, the calf stretch. Most people do not think about their calves. But tight calves lead to knee pain, poor circulation, and even balance issues. I learned that the hard way. But after incorporating this simple stretch into my routine, I felt the difference immediately. My legs felt lighter. My knees stopped aching. Even walking became easier. How do breathing techniques enhance the anti-aging effects of stretching, and which methods work best? Now, let me take you back to a time when I first understood the true power of breath. I was young, yet my body felt stiff, my movements rigid, and my energy depleted by the smallest exertion. I stretched, yes, but it was mechanical. There was no life in it. Then an old master, his body supple like a willow in the wind despite the years etched into his skin, told me, "You breathe wrong, and because of that, you stretch wrong. And because you stretch wrong, you age faster than you should." His words stayed with me. They struck deep because I saw truth in them. Breathing is not just the drawing in of air and the expelling of it. It is rhythm. It is harmony. It is a force that moves through the body like a river carving through stone. Done correctly, it turns stretching into a conversation with your muscles, your joints, even your very bones. When you inhale deeply, you bring in not just oxygen but energy. You flood your body with life, feeding the cells, nourishing the tissues. And when you exhale fully, you release the stagnation, the toxins, the tension that has taken residence in places you never even realized. It is in this exchange, this deliberate give and take, that anti-aging magic happens. Consider this. A body that is stiff is a body that is old, no matter how few its years. And a body that moves with ease, with fluidity, with elasticity, is one that defies the very concept of aging. Stretching alone helps, but it is the breath that unlocks the full potential. Think of a dry tree branch. If you try to bend it, it snaps. But if it is supple, if it has water flowing within, it bends, it flexes, it adapts without breaking. Your breath is that water, keeping your body supple, preventing the brittleness that time loves to bring. Certain methods work better than others, and I have tried them all. The first, and perhaps the most powerful, is deep diaphragmatic breathing. Too many people breathe shallowly, keeping their breath locked in their chest, never allowing it to reach deep into the belly where true power lies. When you stretch, you must breathe as if pulling the air into your very bones. Inhale deeply through your nose, letting your belly rise, expanding like a balloon. Hold for a moment, feel the oxygen soaking into every fiber of your being, then release slowly through your mouth, sinking deeper into the stretch. This simple practice transforms stretching from a mere routine into a ritual of renewal. Then, there is the ancient art of nasal breathing combined with slow, controlled exhalations. This technique, used by warriors and sages alike, calms the nervous system, reducing stress hormones that accelerate aging. When stretching, inhale deeply through the nose for a slow count, feeling the ribs expand outward, then exhale twice as long, drawing the air out as if wringing tension from your muscles. With each exhalation, you relax deeper, melting into the pose, erasing years of tightness from your body. Another powerful method is rhythmic breathing, in which you synchronize your breath with movement. Inhale as you prepare, exhale as you extend, inhale as you transition, exhale as you settle deeper. This creates a flow, a seamless dance between breath and body, making each movement effortless. Over time, this technique not only enhances flexibility but also strengthens the connection between mind and muscle, making your body more intuitive, more alive. There is also alternate nostril breathing, a technique revered for its ability to balance energy, clear the mind, and restore youthful vitality. It is simple yet profound. You close one nostril, inhale through the other, then switch, exhaling through the opposite side. This practice, done before stretching, prepares the body, focusing the mind, ensuring that each stretch is not just physical but also deeply meditative. One of the most invigorating and often overlooked breathing techniques is the breath hold. Many fear holding their breath, associating it with discomfort, yet it is in these pauses that the magic happens. After a deep inhale, hold for a moment, allowing the oxygen to settle deeply into the muscles before releasing. This brief suspension, like the pause before a great symphony, amplifies the effects of stretching, making each movement richer, more profound. Let me tell you what happens when you bring these techniques into your daily practice. Your circulation improves, delivering nutrients more efficiently to every cell, keeping your skin vibrant, your muscles supple, your joints lubricated. Your stress levels drop, and with them, the fine lines that come from worry, the stiffness that stress breeds. Your posture improves, making you appear taller, more confident, younger. And most importantly, your body begins to feel free, unburdened by the weight of tension, moving as it was meant to, with ease, with grace. I have seen men and women decades younger than I am who move as though shackled by age, and I have seen elders who, through the marriage of breath and stretch, have bodies that defy time. It is not luck. It is not magic. It is wisdom put into practice. The breath, my friend, is your most powerful ally. Use it well, and stretching becomes more than just a means to touch your toes. It becomes a gateway to a life where aging is not something to fear but something to dance with, to move through with agility, with joy. If you remember nothing else from my words, remember this. Every breath is a chance to renew, to refresh, to restore. And when you pair that breath with a gentle, deliberate stretch of your body, you give yourself the gift of youth, no matter your years. I tell you this not because I read it in a book, not because I heard it from another, but because I have lived it. I have felt the difference. And if you embrace this, you will feel it too. If you liked today's discussion, don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel, so until next time, take care.